I don't have anything wrong with casting a celebrity as long as they have the skills necessary to put on the show. Hi. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Do you know what time it is? It's time to sit down and put in those earbuds so as not to disturb the neighbors, because this is Off Book, a podcast about Broadway, movies, TV shows, and so many other nerdy things. I'm your host, Marc Stoufer III, and today I'm going to be talking about stunt casting. That's when a film or musical casts a celebrity, primarily or even exclusively, in order to use their name and reputation in the marketing. Now, to be clear, there are plenty of productions both on stage and on screen that star celebrities that didn't get stunt cast. Maybe the celebrity became famous for that production or a film that came out at the same time, or maybe they auditioned and just got too old because they were the best. I mean, famous actors are famous for a reason. But stunt casting does happen a lot. Now, stunt casting manifests a little bit differently in film than it does in theater. And what's interesting in film is that it even manifests differently between original films and reboots or remakes or any non-original film. The interesting thing is that it's hard to point out stunt casting in an original film because there's really no frame of reference for you to base what the character should be or the kinds of actors that are normally in this kind of production, because you don't know what the film is going to be. So really the only way to know if the celebrity was stunt cast was to look at their performance. But there are even some celebrities the casting director might have liked their performance even though it was bad, hypothetically speaking. Not to mention that it's hard to get a big name celebrity attached to a brand new original film unless it's good. You're less likely to find a completely original film that can get a big name celebrity, because in order to convince them to sign on to a project that isn't that good, they need to pay them a bunch, but if it's not that good of a film, they probably don't have a bunch of funding. So there's a whole bunch of different things that need to all align to create this scenario where an original film can get stunt cast with a celebrity, but it does happen. A lot of people will point out Jerry Seinfeld in the Bee Movie. It's been a long time since I've seen the Bee Movie. I couldn't tell you if his performance was good or not, but it definitely did seem like it was a little bit of a marketing ploy to get people to go see this movie about bees because people like Jerry Seinfeld. You most often find stunt casting in original films when a big studio, think of the Disneys or the Universals or the Warner Brothers of the world, who have a lot of money, will make a movie that's mediocre to not mediocre, if you know what I'm saying, and will decide that it needs a budget and will pay some big celebrity to come star in it. Movies like these are generally made just because of the money. The studio knows that they can get this big celebrity to star in the picture, and they know that if they throw enough money at it, they can get something that will give them money back, because people want to go see the celebrity in the movie, even if nobody actually cares about the movie. Sometimes this can work out. If you make a movie based around a performance you want to see from a celebrity, and people go see the movie for the performance of a celebrity, sometimes it'll be okay. But generally, it's not going to end up like that. Generally, you find that a studio attaches a big name celebrity and assumes that that means that the movie is going to do well, even if nobody actually likes the movie, which generally isn't quite how it works. Generally, people will be like,
"Oh, celebrity man? I want to go see him in a movie," and
they go see the movie and realize
this was not good. Yeah, I basically paid him a lot of money, and he didn't do a good job. So, I don't like this movie.
And then it ends up doing pretty terribly critically, but it does pretty well at the box office because everybody wants to see the celebrity, and the studio is happy because they got money, and then they pay the actor who is happy because they got money, and the audience is the only person who isn't happy, and these movies get made more than they probably should, and I don't know why, just how about make good movies. But it does happen, and it works, which is why it continues to happen. It works a little bit differently when it's based on something else, when it's a reboot or an adaptation of something, because you already have a built-in fan base of the people that like the original, whether it's a TV show that's being turned into a movie, or the other way around, or about a musical, or a movie that's being rebooted, or whatever it is. There's a group of people that likes that original thing and wants to go see how it gets made this new time. But studios also recognize that generally that group isn't going to be enough to do well at the box office. So you need another group of people. So to kind of add on to that already guaranteed customer base, they attach big name celebrities who are generally fans of the original to come act in this thing, and everyone will go see it.
Oh look, I like this original thing, I want to go see it.
Oh look, I like this celebrity, I want to go see the celebrity in this movie.
And so you have an exponentially larger fan base. And so that means that you can do well critically by either making a good movie or just doing the original justice. Even if it's no better than the original, a lot of people will enjoy as long as it's as good as, not worse than the original. The people to go see it because of the original will feel satisfied and everybody will be happy. However, that is not always the case. A lot of times these adaptations don't do very well. I actually did an episode all about movie adaptations of Broadway musicals, and a lot of the concepts I described there also apply to a lot of these reboots and stuff. I encourage you to go check that out if you want to know more. But a lot of these are business decisions. They're
Oh look, here's a property that is popular with some target demographics. Let's remake that, and then let's see what celebrity is popular with the same target demographics. Oh, let's include them.
which, by the way, is exactly how you got NBC's How the Grinch Stole Christmas live, starring Matthew Morrison. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, these business decisions, where it seems like it was a wheel of popularity among target demographics, is what you end up with. Happens, again, more than it probably should, and gives you these films that may be quality, but more often than not aren't, but either way feel very corporate. It feels like it was made exclusively for the analytics and to get the box office to work instead of because of art. A lot of times you find that these celebrities don't actually have any particular connection to whatever this project is based on. They only sign on because the studio is willing to give them money, and the studio is only willing to give them money because the star is popular. So you end up with this, nobody here really has a connection or any reason to be doing what they're doing. They're just doing it to earn the studio money, because if the studio makes money, then everyone else gets money. I mean, I guess they get money anyway. But if the film does well in the box office, then they'll get more money for future projects. So, I guess in the end I was right. Anyway, a lot of these don't do very well because everybody knows that it's stunt casting. You can recognize when a celebrity gets cast and they do a good job, and you can recognize when a celebrity gets cast for their reputation and they don't do a good job. And audiences, if they can tell that a celebrity was cast just because of their reputation, generally won't like the movie. Generally, whenever a celebrity gets cast in anything, people get mad. But then when people go to see the film, they'll start to realize,
Oh, okay, this performance was actually pretty good. Maybe it wasn't stunt casting, it was just a celebrity who happened to get this job instead of an unknown actor.
or it may be.
Yo, that was not good. This was definitely stunt casting. I'm still mad.
So I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with casting a celebrity in a film, whether it be an original or a reboot, as long as they were cast for their talent and because they were the best person for the job to embody the character, not just to make a marketing move and get
Young people
to come see this movie that they wouldn't care about otherwise, because they're probably still not going to care about the movie. It's going to get them into the seats, and it may drive your box office profits up, but it's not going to generate any more interest, and you would have been better off probably making a movie that people wanted to, go see. Not to mention that if it's based on something else that was good, and you reboot it or make a remake of it or something, and because it's all based on marketing analytics, you don't do as good of a job because you didn't need to, you just wanted to get people into the seats, that's going to probably bomb critically, and it's going to, and that's going to be what people think of you as a studio the next time you try to make a movie that maybe you did care about. And so I don't really understand why this keeps happening, because generally, if a celebrity gets stunt cast, nobody's happy at the end of the day, except for, I guess, money. Money is good, but beyond money, there really isn't any upside to it. So I'm hoping that studios will stop making films where they just stunt cast celebrities, but I don't think it's likely. Today's episode is sponsored by the Star-Studded Movie Generator. Trying to find a good movie to cast with a whole bunch of celebrities can be hard, but now you don't have to. Just go to www.bigbucksfilmmaking.com, input the names of the huge stars that have agreed to act in the film and locations you have access to, and it'll automatically give you plot ideas to work with. And if you pay only $16.99 a month for a premium subscription, you'll be able to get those suggestions on books or TV shows you can adapt, creating even less work for you. Plus, if you use code OFFBOOK at checkout, you'll get 15% off the Platinum membership, which gives you all the perks I mentioned before, plus a creative team to develop a Broadway musical adaptation a couple years down the road. Speaking of, stunt casting on Broadway is a very different beast than stunt casting in Hollywood, because there are a lot of big-name Broadway celebrities, and they get cast in musicals pretty often. You're not going to bat an eyelid if Ben Platt is in a musical, or or if Matthew Morrison is in a musical that isn't The Grinch, it's not going to be weird because that's what they do. They're constantly in musicals. That's how they work. They're obviously very talented because you can't really get famous on Broadway without being talented. It's very rare to find big Broadway celebrities that don't have good voices and are good at acting. So the Broadway celebrities getting cast in musicals isn't a big deal. But it's when you get non-Broadway celebrities onto Broadway that things start to get a little bit weird. You find a similar thing in the audience reception to the announcement of a Broadway cast that includes some non-Broadway celebrity that you do when it's an original film, where it's just kind of...
Why them?
You found this with the revival of The Music Man that's going up in the Winter Garden Theatre later this year, assuming that COVID lets up, starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster. And everyone kind of went, okay, I guess they can sing. You know, they're good on Broadway. They've been on Broadway, but this feels like a marketing ploy. Why would you make a Music Man revival starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster? Not even that they're going to necessarily do a bad job, but something here doesn't add up. This feels like a marketing ploy. Plus, I can't show you because audio format, but if you look at the marquee for the theater, it has the names of Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster way bigger than it has the names of, the show, like The Music Man, which just feels weird. It feels like it was stunt, the entire show was stunt casted, and that generally doesn't do well. And of course, The Music Man also had the added pressure of the whole Beetlejuice controversy. Those of you that don't know, Beetlejuice was playing in the Winter Garden Theatre, and in the first couple of weeks didn't make enough money, and so the Winter Garden Theatre, without telling the Beetlejuice staff and cast and crew, whatever, went and tried to go find another musical to fill that theater so they could kick Beetlejuice out and this new show would make more money. However, while they were in the process of doing that, Beetlejuice became super popular and was selling it every single night. However, in the middle of that being sold out, super popular run, the Winter Garden Theatre announced to Beetlejuice,
Hey, guess what? We, a while ago, started looking for your replacement, and you're going to leave the theater in like a couple months.
and they were all like,
You didn't tell us this, but okay.
and then to make matters worse, COVID happened and Broadway shut down, and then the Broadway shutdown got extended past when Beetlejuice's last show was going to take place. So Beetlejuice didn't even get a closing night, which all feels very fishy to me, but that's an episode for a different day. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear me talk about that in more detail. All that to say though, The Music Man, aside from all the Beetlejuice controversy, just felt very cash grabby. It felt like,
Oh, here's a celebrity, here's a show that people might go to see, let's make some money.
and people have pointed out specifically on Broadway, with a film, if you cast a celebrity, you film the film and that's the film. So you get a celebrity for a couple of weeks to be in this production, and then people go to pay to see it in the theater. But with a Broadway show, you're doing it every single night, 8 shows a week. And Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster are both very busy in theater and in film and in TV and in a whole bunch of different mediums. So how long are they actually going to be in this show? Probably not much past Tony season. So once the Tonys end and they leave, what do you do when what a lot of people are assuming the entire show was built around them being in it? When their names are on the marquee bigger than the actual title of the show and they're not in it anymore, what do you do? Do you just shut down the show? Do you have to hire more celebrities? Do you hire non-celebrities and just hope that their performance is good enough and that people want to go see the show? And that by this point, they've learned that your show is good? What if it isn't good? What if people are only going to see the celebrities? It feels a lot less effective to stunt cast on Broadway because the celebrities are only going to be there for a certain amount of time, and then you have to replace that. And so it doesn't make any sense to cast a celebrity knowing that they're going to leave. It's not always the first cast, though. There are sometimes, like in Dear Evan Hansen, when a celebrity is cast in a non-original cast. Jordan Fisher was cast as Evan as like the fourth or fifth person to do so on Broadway. This was after Ben Platt and after Vanderbilt Feldman, which gave Dear Evan Hansen a significant ticket increase because people not only want to see this Tony Award-winning show, they also want to go see Jordan Fisher in this show. And so that's when it makes a little bit more sense to me, at least, is, you get these people who have heard about the show and who maybe like the show, maybe don't, and you get this celebrity and people go, oh, I want to see this show, and I also want to see the celebrity. I'm definitely going to go see it now. I was on the fence before, now I'm going to go see it. Or maybe even, I've heard good things about the show and I want to see Jordan Fisher, so maybe I'll go see it. Because the show already has a fan base, and you already have people buying tickets for the show, and it's not just about the celebrity. So once Jordan Fisher leaves the show, as I think he already has, you can still continue selling tickets because this popularity of Dear Evan Hansen wasn't all about Jordan Fisher because he wasn't in the original cast and had success before Jordan Fisher. Now, in the case of Dear Evan Hansen, it started with Ben Platt, who's a pretty big Broadway celebrity. But again, the show could live outside of him. So once Ben Platt left, the show could kind of continue with its popularity on its own because Ben Platt added to the show's popularity and wasn't the only source of it. It's a little bit more complicated of an issue on Broadway because when it comes to casting non-Broadway celebrities on Broadway, there are really two camps. There's the one camp that's in favor of it and says, hey, more people are going to see a Broadway show now. They were never going to go see Waitress, but now that Miranda Sings is in it, they're going to go see it. And then there's the other camp that says, yeah, but they're still not going to appreciate the art. They're going to see Miranda Sings. And that did actually happen. You found people at the stage door of Waitress trying to get her autograph that night who hadn't seen the show and didn't really care about her Broadway performance. It was just, hey, I saw you on YouTube and I want to get your autograph and here's a free meet and greet, which is a weird thing that stage touring has become another episode for another day. But so you get the argument of, yes, maybe ticket sales went up, but Broadway didn't actually gain anything because people don't appreciate the show anymore and they're not going to see the show. Broadway isn't getting any new fans. It's just people trying to go see a celebrity. But on the other hand, which is the first hand, you get people saying, well, yeah, they're going to see that celebrity, but maybe they go see the celebrity in that show and then watch the show and like the show and start getting into the show outside of that celebrity, and maybe they go see other shows and they do support the community. My opinion on this basically is that I have nothing wrong with casting a non-Broadway celebrity in a Broadway show as long as they can perform and sing, dance, and act and do all the things that you need to be able to do to perform in that show, which isn't really stunt casting. Stunt casting in its purest form is casting them just for their name, and I think that that doesn't happen very often. But I don't really understand why you do that. I don't really think that's going to be best for your show in the long term. But I don't think that it's good. I don't think that it helps the community or that show or the other performers in that show because it's what a lot of people are predicting is going to happen with the Music Man. Once Hugh Jackman leaves, once Vasher leaves, it really isn't a show. It's a show built around their reputation, and that's not good for the Winter Garden Theater because it's not in the long term going to be beneficial for them. It's not good for Beetlejuice, which got kicked out of the theater, so that way the Music Man could play. It's not good for the audiences who are going to potentially be disappointed if the show isn't as good as they're hoping it will be. It's not good for the community to have a show that's built on reputation instead of passion and art. I don't really think that it's a good move. However, I do think that it can be beneficial to cast celebrities, even ones that aren't traditionally on Broadway, because I do think that it adds something to the community when you have people that aren't necessarily fans of Broadway coming to see Broadway shows. If you get people that are like, hey, I like Jordan Fisher, I'm going to go see him in this show that he's in. It has music that I think is catchy. I'm going to go see the show. And then you get them hooked on Dear Evan Hansen or just hooked on Broadway in general. Like, hey, Broadway is cool, show tunes are cool. I want to go see more of these. I want to support more of these shows, whether it's seeing them or listening to the cast albums or buying the merchandise or even just watching the stuff they put out, whether it's Thanksgiving Day parades or NBC specials. Getting people into the arts, I think, is a good thing no matter how you do it. So I think that casting celebrities and getting people to go watch those celebrities can be a huge benefit to the theater community, as long as it's not just because of their name. They also do have the ability to not only just sing, because singing is a third of Broadway, but also, the dancing that's necessary, and more importantly, the acting. It's very easy to cast a singer and be like, hey, they can sing, yeah, but can they act? No, this emotional beat is not at all well done. Or the inverse, where you cast an actor who can't really sing and say, okay, well, this Act 1 finale felt very flat. And you end up with these people who like the show, want to go see the show, disappointed. And you end up with the people that even like this celebrity disappointed because, yeah, no, their songs were very good, but the acting was not fun to watch. So, stunt casting in and of itself on Broadway, I don't like. I don't think that anybody except for the theater producers in the theater and the actor like it. But I think that I don't have anything wrong with casting a celebrity, whether they've gone on Broadway before or not, as long as they have the skills necessary to put on the show. One last thing, a little bit of housekeeping. Early next year, theaters everywhere will be releasing Off Book, the movie starring Chris Evans as me, and I'll be making a brief cameo myself. Make sure to pre-order your tickets at www.iwishpleasegetchrisevans to come on the show.com/thismovieisn'treal. yet. Next week, I'm going to be talking all about the music of TikTok and the weird phenomenon that is the Ratatouille musical. Until next time, go write your own musical based on a Disney film. Just be sure not to infringe on copyright. If you celebrate it, have a very Merry Christmas and a great rest of your week.